So I just got back from lunch with Jordan. We went to Curl Market, which we call Hurl Market because it's really expensive, but it's not that good. It kind of makes me feel sick. What I want to talk about, and I figured it out because my friend texted me. What I want to talk about today is one of my best friends. His name is Nick Taddeo. He is as Italian as it sounds. He just sent me like a 5-paragraph long birthday text because he could. And I was totally shocked, and honestly I was feeling kind of weird about this birthday because I'm not home for the first time ever. I'm 19. Like, this is just such a weird age to be. Just feeling really uncertain because it's like, this is totally one of those years where you're like, I'm not 18 anymore. Oh, this is weird. So I've known since we were both in kindergarten, and he lived in my backyard. If you asked him about this, like exact same thing, he'd say that I lived in his backyard. That's a lie. He lived in my backyard. This hurts. So here's Nick and I when I was a freshman, and he was a freshman as well, in the front of my boat at my grandpa's marina. It was June 14th, 2011. You can see I had a bit of different hair. He actually hasn't changed much since then. It's just interesting because when I moved, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people that were my teammates, and it was really hard. But I still hung out with Nick like all the time. I have another friend too, Dan, who's also like one of my closest friends, and I see him a lot. But besides Dan, Nick is the only person that I've really kept in consistent contact with since I left. I've known, and he moved with his dad over there, and we just sort of hit it off. We are nothing alike in a lot of ways. We're in a lot of ways we're very similar, like personality wise, but like coming from like a social standpoint, we're very different. An amazing thing that we get along so well. Ever since we first met in kindergarten, I think about a year later, our dads put a fence. Well, we had a fence in between our yards, and they took out a section of the fence, and they put out a section of fence, and they put in a gate so that we could get easily in between the two houses. So having the gate in between was definitely one of my favorite things ever. I would spend almost every single weekend over at his house. I played my first ever M game with him, like rated M for mature. It was Ghost Recon. We literally played the same level over and over. It was awesome. What else? My God, we just did so much stupid shit as kids. Took all the fireflies out of my backyard and put them in one of those like pump-up pressure rockets and pointed at my garage and shot lightning bugs all over my garage. Literally, it glowed like phosphorescent for like 2 years after that, and there was no lightning bugs around. I think, yeah, we did that. That's like always like childhood memories. Yeah, we did that. My parents would take him on hikes with us. His dad would take us fishing. We just sort of grew up together, you know, like that one childhood friend that you always had. And in the same classes in school, even though we went to the same school and through middle school anyways, we were never in the same classes because Nick is not the same kind of learner that I am. He's very smart. Very, very smart. He's very mechanically inclined. He's very good at that kind of stuff. Doesn't learn well in a classroom setting. Not a good test taker. Because he doesn't care. He thinks it's kind of an irrelevant way to learn. College, he's doing much better. He's actually published, which is cool. Because I think his degree's biology. He's got something published in a eco thing about the runoff in Lake Erie, which is awesome. Because that's a really big problem. So yeah, we were never in the same classes in school, but we always saw each other. And he is always one of the things that we've always been opposite on is that he is very good with females, and I am very much not. And so all throughout middle school, he would try to get me to talk to girls, and I was like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't talk to, no, I can't. Meanwhile, he was just like, he was that kid that dated every single girl in middle school. Every school has one. He was that kid. Even if they're from different schools, he dated them. I'm like, okay, you do you, Nick. So we're just very different in that respect. But at the same time, is that it's nice because we're so different that we can see where we, like, individually are lacking in ourselves, what we need to do to improve, what we could do to be better. It's just an awesome dynamic. And basically in elementary school, he was my only friend until I met Dan in 4th grade. But from like 1st grade to 4th grade, he was my only friend, and Dan and I weren't the closest in middle school. In elementary school, we got really close in middle school, and we're probably closer than ever now, ever since I moved. I don't know. Stuff works like that. Eventually, after middle school, it became apparent that that the public school environment was not the way for him to go. That there's too many distractions in public school. So he opted out of going to Eastlake North with me, and he went to Andrews Osborne, which is a small private school in Willoughby, Ohio. And I was pissed. I was so mad. I had never not gone to school with Nick. It was going to be weird. And looking back on it, I was being totally irrational. And it was a really good fit for him, and I'm glad he did it, because it really helped him out a lot. They could really work with him and get him to do what he needed to do. I was worried they'd become like one of the rich kids that goes there, but he stayed the same. I'm still Nick. Moving. And at the same time, well, I think it's actually because we moved. Nick's dad and Noelle, the woman that, the lady that basically is Nick's stepmom. He even calls her stepmom. They decided that they wanted to move out of Willowick, where we lived, and to Willoughby. I think Nick was the only reason that they were staying in Willowick, because he wanted to still have the backyards connected, because that was like the best thing ever. Could go over there whenever I wanted. Wow, I haven't thought about that in years. I'm sorry, I'm having like a total nostalgia trip. I miss it. I miss it a lot. Yeah, I got over him moving to Andrews pretty quickly. Like, I wasn't about to lose my friend just because I was pissed that he wasn't going to the same school as me. And when I was moving, I got funky. I got away from who I wanted to be even then. And he told me straight up that needed to get fixed before we went on vacation together, and I fixed it. I don't regret listening to what he told me at all. We went to Cape Cod that summer for the 2nd time, and it was a fantastic time. One of my favorite vacations ever. And I haven't really, except for this summer when I went to Montreal and Canada and Toronto and New Hampshire, I haven't gone on vacation since then. Because it's weird, because I normally go on vacation with him, so it's every summer since I moved, he comes over, or I go. Sorry, my camera's trying to die on me, so I gotta finish this before my girlfriend gets back too. So every summer he's come over, or I went over there. Every winter break, I go over there. He comes back over here, or back over to Amp. And we still are just incredibly close. And his friendship is one of the more valuable things in my life. and I'm very happy to have him in my life. So if you ever watch this, Nick, know that you're always my brother, and I am grateful to have you in my life. And to everyone else who watched this, I hope that you get out of it that friendship is possibly the most valuable thing you could ever have. It's the end of today's vlog. Unless I do something else really exciting for my birthday. In which case, I'll bring this with me. But for the moment, that's the end.